Ho is a restricted Pokemon that has always struggled in previous formats, especially with Intimidate, but with the new item Clear Amulet and its high base special defense being good into multiple common Pokemon such as the grass types that are running around with Amoonguss and Rillaboom, it has a lot of potential in this upcoming format. We're going to be trying out a Ho and Ting Lu team and seeing how well it can perform. This is a Ho and Ting Lu team. With Ho Regenerator, it is able to be a very strong pair with Regenerator Amoonguss, so you have the ability to just constantly heal back by switching with this Amoonguss and Ho. You also have Recover, healing up 50% of your health. That's also a great benefit. Sacred Fire can burn opponents. Tailwind for speed control. It is a great mon, and the Clear Amulet really nice against Incineroar, which is a Pokemon it struggled with in previous years, as well as Salamence, but Salamence no longer a really big factor. It would have been great if Xerneas was still in the format and Zacian was still a thing that was really strong. But Calyx Shadow Rider being a very big pick in this format, having the high base special defense that Ho has, because highest stat is its base special defense stat of 154, I believe. So Ho is definitely a way to tank Calyx Shadow Rider's Astral Barrages, and you could even PP stall it if you really need to. But with this Ho, you also have another annoyance to Calyx Shadow Rider. This is a team that really is designed to make Calyx Shadow Rider's life very, very difficult, which is going to be the Ting Lu. This one running Rocky Helmet, and with the Ruination, Taunt, and Snarl. Now, this set, the Taunt is to help out against opposing Amoonguss. It help deny Trick Room. Snarl for the Shadow Rider Calyx. Ruination just to chip things, because this team can play very passively, so having the Ruination can be very, very beneficial overall. You're just chipping away teams to put in range of a really strong Brave Bird from the Ho. We have just a great pairing with Ting Lu, especially right now. I think it's a good call in the format, mainly because Miraidon did do extremely well at the Indianapolis Regional Championship with several in top cut and it winning the event. So Ting Lu paired with Rillaboom, for instance, can be a really great pairing to shut down Miraidon. With that Vessel Ruin and the Grassy Surge, makes Miraidon's ability to sweep just really, really difficult. Rillaboom is a really nice pairing because you do have the ability to hit the Water Shifus, which Ho does struggle against. Fake Out Pressure, U-Turn, which is a great move because with double Regenerator, there's so much health you could just recover with Ho and Amoonguss. Following that is the Assault Vest Raging Bolt, again to help out against the water type Urshifu or any water types in general, because Ho does struggle against water. Having the Double Grass plus Raging Bolt just really makes sure that you have multiple switch-ins to those water type moves and can dish out quite a bit. You have Speed Control with the Electro Web, Snarl to make the Ho even bulkier, multiple Snarls, and then Draco Meteor for a little bit more firepower against opposing Raging Bolts. The Dark Urshifu, just really good against Incineroar, just a way that you can hit it, as well as, like, again, Calyx Shadow Rider. This is a team that's really anti-Calyx Shadow Rider, able to dish out a lot of damage, and that's pretty much all you really need to say. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. Calyx Shadow Rider, Murkrow, Ogerpon, Heartflame, Amoonguss, Indeedee, and the Galarian Zapdos. A very offensive team. They have really only 3 offensive mons, which is going to be the Calyrex, the Ogerpon, Heartflame, which could also be support with Follow Me too. Although they already have a bunch of redirection. This is like Calyx redirection, which it's not too bad to handle. We do have a Ting Lu, which is really solid in this matchup. The only problem with Ting Lu is, of course, going to be the Galarian Zapdos. Galarian Zapdos is very scary because if it switches in on a Snarl, that's not fun here. I'd imagine it's probably Expanding Force as well on the Calyrex with the Indeedee pairing. So I got to think about how I want to approach this. I do really love the Ho. Ho is really strong in this matchup, especially since they have 3 flying weeks. It's also got really good special defense here. I do want to pair it with the Ting Lu probably. The question is, who am I leading it with? I kind of like the idea, I believe, of Ho plus the Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt seems really hard for them to actually knock out immediately. I think Ting Lu plus... I don't think Rillaboom's too helpful. Like, Fake Out support could be nice, but I don't think it's necessary. I think I'm going to go Urshifu just as another way to handle the Calyx, because Calyx is really going to be the important piece. The 2 Pokemon that are going to be really important this matchup for my opponent are going to be the Calyx, how well they can dish out damage, which is going to be pretty tough for my team. I think it's really going to be about that Galarian Zapdos. That Galarian Zapdos is really scary with that Defiant option. We're going to see the Calyrex plus Amoonguss, which A-okay by me. I do lead the Ho-Oh plus the Raging Bolt. And feel like I'm in a pretty good spot. I have no idea if this is Nasty Plot Calyrex, but I do feel that I can just go for either a Sacred Fire or a Brave Bird immediately. I think I like the idea of just going for a Brave Bird into Amoonguss. Or do I want to double up the Calyrex slot? This could be a swap into the Galarian Zapdos. So I could go for an Electroweb as well. If I really, really want to. I think I do want to go for a Brave Bird. I think I'm going to target down the Amoonguss. I'm just worried if they protect Amoonguss, go into Galarian Zapdos. But you know what? I'll risk it. I'm going to go for Snarl. I'm going to go for Brave Bird. We are going to see the Amoonguss retreat. If this is the Galarian Zapdos, that would be amazing for us. We're going to see Entity. So this is probably just expanding force, which is okay. We're taking a lot of damage, but both of these Pokemon should be able to survive one, which is pretty important. I also have Regenerated with the Ho-Oh. Oh boy, is this Terra Psychic on the Calyrex? That's going to do a ton. We are going to see a Terra. Oh, jeez. This is a lot of damage coming out. I don't know if Ho-Oh will survive. It has really high special defense. Let's see. The only part is I actually am worried if Ho-Oh goes down here because the Entity Helmet to recoil with Brave Bird. Oh, they crit my Ho-Oh. Oh, I almost KO'd the Entity, actually. That's huge. That was huge damage. Okay. So I am able to get a Snarl off. Are you kidding? Great. Nice, nice, nice. I love to see that, I guess. All right. Oh my goodness, this is really bad. I'm gonna go out in a Ting Lu. Ting Lu's in a okay spot, I suppose. This is not gonna be good, is it? I don't know how I'm really beating the rest of this team. I guess I'm just gonna click Snarl and I'm gonna click Electroweb here, but oh my goodness, really? That was one of the worst cases. Ho-Oh would have been tanking it pretty well, I think, for the most part. I'm gonna go for Electroweb Snarl. Let's see. They're gonna go for Helping Hand. I don't know if this is actually gonna KO my Raging Bolt, because we do have that Snarl plus the Vessel Ruin. So let's find out if it does KO the Raging Bolt. Yeah, it doesn't. Although Raging Bolt being low is not great. Electroweb gonna come out, do some decent damage to the Entity. Good damage into the Calyrex. The Snarl gonna come out. Let's see how much damage we're doing here, because that's gonna be pretty important. A Snarl gonna come out into the Calyrex. Pretty good damage, okay. And now it is pretty low where it's in range of any other attack. Is this Ogre? Well, they have a Amoonguss in the back, so I imagine you would go out into the... I would say go Galarian Zapdos and hard retreat into the Amoonguss. Makes a lot of sense to me. We are going to see the... Oh, they didn't bring Galarian Zapdos. They brought Ogerpon instead. That's actually really huge for me. I do have a Terra Fairy here. And I do think that it is probably my best option. Trying to figure out how this spot works. Do I want to go for Ruination or do I want to go for Snarl? Snarl is good here. I don't know if they ever go Amoonguss. That's also another issue. I'm just going to try to fire off a Draco Meteor into the Ogerpon and I'm going to Snarl. If the Calyrex attacks, that means a Snarl goes off, and I think that's really huge. Because I think this is Ogerpon attacking into the Ting Lu and just something from the Calyrex. I don't know what the Calyrex is going for, Expanding Force or Astral Barrage, maybe Protect. They actually just go for a Wood Hammer. That's fast. Wait, is that... No, it can't be Choice Scarf. Why is that Calyrex slow? I mean, really slow. Yeah, that Ogerpon's really fast, but the Calyrex is slow. It goes for the Astral Barrage. Perfectly acceptable here, as I am able to get the Snarl, hopefully connect, and then I'll be in a really good spot. Come on, baby. Come on. Click Snarl and land. Let's go. Oh, I didn't knock out the Calyrex. Okay. Not great. We will go out into Urshifu, though. I'm a little bit worried about the Amoonguss, but overall, I think we're okay. The Ogerpon is locked in a Woodhammer. I think the question is, does Calyrex have Draining Kiss on this team? I feel like it should. I really feel like it should. I'm going to Detect and Snarl. If they go Amoonguss, it's not great, but it's definitely... I think it's definitely winnable. I am mostly fearful of them being able to double knock out the Urshifu here with a Draining Kiss plus a Woodhammer. Because I do think that the Urshifu is pretty threatening to them because the Wicked Blow can actually pick up a knockout. Psychic Terrain is going to end soon, so they do have to worry and fear about Sucker Punch. We are going to see the Calyrex switch out in Amoonguss, which is fine. All right. Let's see. I feel like Ogerpon should be tapping the Urshifu then, if that's the case. Oh, Superpower. Okay, yeah. Superpower is actually really, really bad. I mean, really bad. All right. I do get a Snarl off into the Amoonguss and the Ogerpon. I guess I think I have to go for them throwing. I do go for the Taunt into the Amoonguss, and I am going to go for a Wicked Blow into the Ogerpon. The question is, what does Amoonguss do? I think if they click Spore, I'm in a good spot, but otherwise it's not looking so hot. I do take the Superpower, no Focus Sash needed. Here comes a Wicked Blow into the Ogerpon. They didn't click Rage Powder, so this ends up being very helpful. As the Ogerpon goes down, we are able to land a Taunt into Amoonguss. Are you Mentaler is a question. Nope. They did Spore. That's actually really huge. That is really huge. Okay, that is awesome for me. Okay, we see the Calyrex come back in, but now we kind of pinned the Calyrex. It's kind of a weird pin, so I'm always going to go for Snarl here into a Wicked Blow, I think, into the Calyrex. I think the question is, does Calyrex protect? Or because I don't think it's choice locked. We saw it go for Astral Barrage earlier and Expanding Force, so we know that is not choice locked. So they have an option of protecting the Calyrex potentially, and the Amoonguss trying to take the knockdown of Urshifu. So that's why I kind of want to go for this Wicked Blow Snarl, because it pins the Calyrex. If the Calyrex wants to knock out the Urshifu, it has to attack here. Oh, they went for a Encore. All right. Wicked Blow is going to pick up the knockout into the Calyrex. That also makes sense because it does avoid the Sucker Punch. Encore Calyrex, huh? All right. The question is, what Amoonguss move is this? If it's Pollen Puff, I think I win the game, but if it's anything else, I do think I lose. Taunt into the Amoonguss. I think I should be okay with Foul Play if it's the only attacking move. It does pick up the knockout on Urshifu, but I'm pretty sure that Ting Lu should win this game because, yeah, we're locked in the Taunt, which is fine. That's going to be 2 turns of Taunt because of Encore. But if the Amoonguss doesn't have Sludge Bomb or Clear Smog, then I just keep taunting the Amoonguss. It's doing really no damage to Ting Lu, yeah. Yeah, like it does no damage. Ruination's going to outpace. It is also taking Rocky Helmet damage across the board as well. So I think Ting Lu just wins this after a terrible, terrible turn 1 start with that crit onto... I think it was a crit in the Ho. I'm like pretty sure it was. It wasn't Specs or Life Orb. So I'm like pretty sure that was a crit into the Ho-Oh. Oh, actually took that crit actually pretty decently well. And then it forced us to lose our Ho-Oh in the process because of the recoil from Brave Bird. But Ting Lu or Urshifu Raging Bolt was able to pick up enough. I'm really surprised they didn't bring the Galarian Zapdos. Because like it was one of their best answers to my Dark types. But maybe they're expecting Water Urshifu. They're going to go for Spore, which is kind of weird there. Because I was locked into Taunt. Like, I literally was encored into Taunt. I go for Ruination now. They have to keep going for Foul Plays. They keep taking the Rocky Helmet chip. I think I win the game even if, like... maybe a Foul Play crits every single time and I just can't land a single Ruination afterward. But if I land 1 Ruination, I'm pretty sure then they just lose to Rocky Helmet recoil. because that's all they're locked into. They could play for timer, but I'm pretty sure they just lose anyway to it. Like, there's not enough turns for timer. Yeah, Ruination connects. I should win this game. Oh, it's Citrus Berry, so maybe I have to hit one more. So that's okay here. Yeah, foul play. Just not doing any damage, just doing 12. I think the Amoonguss is taking more from the Rocky Helmet. We'll go for more Ruination into Snarls and then Taunt whenever that's gonna wear off, and then I should 100% seal this game here. So yep, we do land the Ruination, so we do guarantee to win here, unless they do reveal the poison move, but I think they would have revealed the poison move earlier. Yep, foul play once again into Ting Lu. Ting Lu just being so bulky, incredible in this matchup. And that's kind of the thing about building your restricted around a bunch of support Pokemon, because they brought, like, the Calyrex had to carry and the Ogerpon had to carry. I was able to get rid of Ogerpon, which was huge. Their taunt end, because I just taunt here. Yeah, I just taunt here. Guaranteed to win. Yeah, they can protect, but it doesn't matter, because then they're just gonna go for, they're gonna be locked into foul play. They can't go for Spore. I mean, even if they Spore, they can't win. You can't win on timer. You can't win on anything really, because literally Ting Lu has more HP. I guess if, well, if you had like no Rage Powder for some reason, I guess if you had like Synthesis, maybe, but I don't think that's gonna be the case. And yeah, Ting Lu able to carry us through that game. Holy cow! This set where I was questionable, but this Ting Lu set, it won that game on its own. It's crazy. Torkoal, Annihilate, Urshifu, the Indeedee, Brew Bonnet, and Calyrex Ice Rider. I think this is a really interesting Trick-Room team. I think Brew Bonnet is actually not a bad mon right now. It's really good against Calyrex, a Shadow Rider, especially with a Sun's boost. If it's like a Photosynthesis special defense boost, it could actually be really annoying to handle. If it wasn't for the fact that I have a Ho-Oh on this team. Ho-Oh is really good against this team. I think the only problem is I don't know if this matchup's amazing, because the ability of them to just fire off Glacial Lances, and I have a lot of ice weaknesses on this team, is not exactly pleasant. I do think that the idea here, probably bring the Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh is really good here. I don't think Ting Lu is really it, although it could help to manage a Torkoal. I don't think it's really necessary. Ho-Oh Dark Urshifu is probably really strong here. I do kind of like it a lot. Yeah, I think I do like it a lot. I think bring Rillaboom, because I think Rillaboom's good. Last Pokemon, do I bring Raging Bolt? I just don't think Raging Bolt's that good, other than in the Torkoal. But I don't have many good switches to Torkoal, but I think I need Amoonguss in this matchup. So I guess the question is, do I need Rillaboom or not? Because I don't know if I need Rillaboom in this matchup, or if I want Raging Bolt. I think it's a mistake. I'm bringing Rillaboom because I think the Fake Out is important to stall out Trick Room, but I just don't know. I think Raging Bolt is necessary against this team because I'm so weak to the Calyrex Ice Rider. But I guess Terra Amoonguss can help out against the Torkoal plus the Calyrex Ice Rider. I just don't know. We're gonna see the lead of Annihilate Calyrex Ice Rider. Okay. Now, I imagine that this is Final Gambit plus a... So this could be two plays. This is either U-turn here from the Annihilate into Urshifu to bring out like some other support, or this is Final Gambit to Ho-Oh, which I do not have Protect, so I might have to sacrifice something here. I think I always go Amoonguss, and I think I always click Wicked Blow into the Calyrex Ice Rider, because I cannot risk the Final Gambit. And I do have to bait it here. I'm actually surprised that the Annihilate showed up here, but yeah, we're gonna have to switch out our Ho-Oh here into the Amoonguss, because I can't afford to lose Ho-Oh early, because Ho-Oh is really important in this matchup. We're gonna see a Terra. I assume this is Calyrex Ice Rider. I'm assuming then this means that they're going for the Final Gambit play into Ho-Oh. We are going to see the Terra from the Calyrex. It's going to be Terra Water, so it's not Terra Grass, which is actually really important information. Because now it's now vulnerable to Spore, which is good at least. We will see... Oh, they close combat to Urshifu immediately. Wow. I guess that makes sense because you don't have to worry about the... Oh, I hope this is not Glacial Lance. If it's Glacial... Actually, it might not be too bad if it's Glacial Lance. We'll see. Wicked Blow into the Calyrex, good damage. And Trick Room. All right, I think the question is, are you Goggles on the Calyrex? Because I think that's like a really important thing to note here. I'm going to go for a Spore into the Calyrex, and I think I just go for a Wicked Blow into the... I think I always just target down the Annihilate, because this could be Inity coming in, switching in. So I'm going to Wicked Blow the Annihilate to cover for an Inity switch and Spore the Calyrex, which should be safe for the most part. Maybe if Calyrex switches out, it's smart, but we are going to see the Annihilate switch out, so I'm assuming that this is Calyrex. All right, Indy. Yep, perfect. Okay. That's really good for me, because if I knock out the Indy, I can Spore the Calyrex the next turn for free. Yeah, they're playing like they're not Goggles, so it should just be Clear Amulet, I'd imagine, on the Calyrex, like the standard. Spore going to go out into the Calyrex. Perfect. And we are able to get a huge Wicked Blow off into the Indy. Hopefully, we just pick up a knockout right here into the Indy. Yep, excellent. Even if we trade our Shifu here, it's perfectly acceptable. And it looks like that's not going to be the case. So Indy goes down. What's also nice about that is now they can't reset terrain. So I'm actually able to go for Grassy Glide in the end game against the Calyrex, which is huge. We are going to see the Torque come in, which is not too surprising as the last Mon. I do have to be a little bit watchful of Annihilate, but the thing is, I should be in a pretty good spot with Terra Water Moongus. Let me double check. I am slower than Calyrex Ice Rider, so I do go for the Spore into the Calyrex Ice Rider with the Terra Water, and I think I could go Ho-Oh here. Just trying to figure out, do I want to go Ho-Oh or not? Just don't feel like there's any reason to protect. Do I want to? I think the thing is, I'm trying to figure out what gets me the best momentum. I think I just attacked, actually. It's all out of turns of Trick Room. Having a Pokemon that I can sack later on in the game, I still think is very valuable. Terra Water is definitely going to be the play here on my Amoonguss, because I do want to get Spores off, which is really valuable. If I can get a Spore off in the Torkoal the following turn, it's incredible, because slowing down that Torkoal is going to be huge for my game plan. So Eruption going to come out, which Amoonguss should be able to tank now because of the Terra Water. Eruption. That's a decent amount. I don't know if that's Specs or Charcoal. I think it's probably Charcoal. It just doesn't look like Specs damage. We are able to get the Spore off into Calyrex, which is huge. And we go for a Spore into the Torkoal slot, and now we go for a Wicked Blow into the Calyrex. This is just going to be Eruption. I'm a little bit worried if I get single target Lanced here, but I guess it's not too bad, I guess. Because even if Amoonguss faints this turn, as long as I get the Spore off in the Torkoal, the Trick Room ends, and then I'm in a position where I pretty much just pin with Woodhammer and Brave Bird, so it should be okay as long as I 2-KO the Torkoal with Brave Bird. But Torkoal has really high special defense, or high physical defense, so it'd be hard to say. All right, nice. Now we go out into our Rillaboom. We now pressure the Calyrex, which is nice. Especially with the Miracle Seed Grassy Glide, which I think should pick up the knockout here. If it doesn't, I don't think it'd be awful even if I didn't. I'm just gonna go into Ho-Oh and click Grassy Glide, I think, into the Calyrex. You might be wondering why don't I go for Fake Out, but I think I want immediate pressure here with Grassy Glide, because if Annihilate comes in, I want to make sure that I punish the Annihilate. And I'm pretty sure Miracle Seed in the terrain should pick up the knockout. If I was a Assault Vest, I'm like, yeah, that's definitely not KOing. But I imagine Grassy Glide picks up the knockout into the Calyrex with Miracle Seed from this range. And if it doesn't, like, I get to know. Okay, I don't. But Torkoal guaranteed to stay asleep here. The Calyrex, do you wake up? Oh, I got lucky here. All right. Look at how bulky Calyrex is, man. That's a Miracle Seed of Grassy Glide. I know Calyrex is insane, but that's just so absurd. I'm Brave Birding the Torkoal here. This is Trick Room's over. Trick Room was over before, right? I just go for a U-turn into the Calyrex. Now I'm scared if U-turn doesn't KO the Calyrex. I'm pretty sure it does, but you know what? I'm gonna Woodhammer. They're gonna wake up and protect here, which is completely fine. It doesn't really change the game here much. Even if Torkoal wakes up, I think this is acceptable. Brave Bird gonna go out into Torkoal. Yeah, Torkoal is just really good physically defensive. Woodhammer gonna fail into the Calyx. This is gonna be, well, we'll find out if the Torkoal wakes up or not. Nope, stays asleep. Okay, perfect. I mean, even if it did wake up and KO'd the Rillaboom, I just go Amoonguss. Amoonguss outspeeds the Torkoal because we're outside of Trick Room. I click Spore and Brave Bird the following turn, and then I just Rage Powder Brave Bird afterward, the Annihilate, and then I just win the game, I'm pretty sure. Like, I just don't see how they're winning there. I just go for Brave Bird, and I go for Woodhammer. Even if they get a double attack, it shouldn't matter at all. Again, I just can't see a position where they can really come back, and yeah. I think the thing that sealed it was... well, I will say it's staying asleep when I thought Grassy Glide was gonna KO was huge, but I do think I could have still won even without that. I think it might have came down to maybe sleep turns on Torkoal, but I do think no matter what, that I was still in a really good position outside of Trick Room, where just Brave Bird plus Spore was just such a good position. Unless they had Rock Slide Annihilate. Maybe if they had Choice Scarf, Rock Slide Annihilate, but I'm pretty sure the moveset is always just going to be Rage Fist, Close Combat, U-Turn, and Final Gambit. Because it's Scarf Annihilate on those teams, and yeah, like, that's what I'd imagine, but you never know, I suppose. Miraidon, Iron Bundle, Farigiraf, Iron Hands, Wellspring, Ogerpon, and Incineroar. Now, what's nice is Ting Lu is actually pretty good into Miraidon teams. There is a little bit of a concern because they do have an Iron Bundle and a Wellspring Ogerpon, and no Intimidate's actually really annoying here. Not having that would have been nice. How do I want to approach this matchup? Because there are a few good things, there are a few bad things. I do think Ting Lu is pretty good at chipping away this team with Ruination and slowing down the Miraidon. So Miraidon's going to have a lot of tough time against grassy terrain plus the Ting Lu, which is nice. The problem is the other Pokemon are actually pretty annoying as well. I think the big one's going to be the Iron Bundle. If I Terra Grass, I get rid of so many of my weaknesses other than Incineroar and Iron Bundle, which are going to be the big ones here. So what do I want to go? I feel like Darker Shifu should be brought for immediate offensive pressure, but I don't need it per se. I think I kind of like the idea of Ting Lu. I want to go Ting Lu Amoonguss. That seems so passive. I think Ting Lu plus Ho is okay with Amoonguss and Rillaboom in back. Raging Bolt is... I mean, Raging Bolt's not bad here. Really not bad. I want to bring Amoonguss. Oh, I was running out of time. Because the thing is, Amoonguss is really nice for a Pollen Puff redirection game, which I think could be really nice. But Raging Bolt was actually really good against the Incineroar, which I think I would have brought it for the Incineroar. Because damaging the Incineroar is not easy on my part. That's the problem with what I brought. First, I Miraidon and Iron Bundle, which this ends up working out really well for me as I do lead my Ho-Oh. Alright, this is pretty good for us. Yeah, Quark Drive is going to activate for the Iron Bundle, get the speed booster. Okay. I do want to get Ruinations across the board as quick as possible. I am going to go for a Ruination into the Miraidon, and I think I'm going to go out in a Rillaboom. I think this is probably Incineroar coming in, and maybe like a Hydro Pump immediately into one of my slots. Maybe they freeze dry my Ting Lu. But I do think Rillaboom's in a good spot. Bring out the Grassy Surge. I get recovery too, which is nice. Quark Drive War is off, which is important, as well as the ability on Miraidon. A Terra immediately is surprising here. Is this Miraidon for extra damage up? It is Miraidon into what? I don't know why they Terra Ferret. I guess like they're worried about a move from my Ting Lu. I'm okay with this. Oh, this could be Dazzling Gleam, I suppose. Icy Wind. A dodge is really nice. I don't know who that was. Rillaboom's very nice. Okay. He went for a raw Dazzling Gleam. All right. Not to my expectation, but Ting Lu is able to eat that up really well. We are able to get a Ruination off into the Miraidon. Okay, really nice. What should that Dazzling Gleam do? It did a decent chunk. We should be able to tank another one. want to say that's based off specs damage, but I can't really say for certain. I think my best play is just to go Amoonguss and click Fake Out into the Iron Bundle. Because they're going to switch out Miraidon, which makes sense. They don't want to be victim to a Woodhammer or anything. Incineroar coming in? Yeah, that's Incineroar. So that's kind of the target I wanted last turn, but I don't think this is too bad. I believe I could get Ho-Oh in very safely the upcoming turn. The problem is the Iron Bundle plus Incineroar combo is actually really hard for me to switch into. Maybe I should have went for the Ruination. They did go for Protect with the Iron Bundle, all right. I don't know who you're going for because you got to worry about Iron Bundle getting knocked out. If Iron Bundle gets knocked out, it's not great. I did bring 4 Ice Weeks in this game. I could go for Spore Woodhammer. I'm a little bit worried if they double up a slot though. But they could also bring it back to Miraidon. So I'm going to protect Amoonguss, and I think I'm going to hard swap here into my Ho-Oh. Now let's see what they decide to opt for the following turn, but I don't think this is a bad position. All right, protect the Amoonguss. They faked out the Amoonguss to freeze dry my Rillaboom, I want to say. Icy Wind. Okay, I have Clear Amulet, so that actually helps out even more. All right. So that's pretty nice. I do want damage on Iron Bundle to put in Grassy Glide range in the future. Question is, how am I pivoting this? They did Terra already, which is pretty good for me. I think it's hard in a Ting Lu to absorb a potential Hydro Pump or a Freeze Dry Flare Blitz combo that they could go for. I'm going to go for Sacred Fire into the... I feel like I should Brave Bird the Incineroar because I need damage on the Incineroar actually. And if they switch out into Miraidon, that actually works out really well. And I think that is Miraidon. So I will take a big Brave Bird into Miraidon. I don't know if this knocks out. It is a 120 base power attack from a decent attack stat. Miraidon should be decently bulky though. Yeah, so they get the speed boost, which I don't think they needed, but I think they were mainly just trying to switch out for Spore potentially. I'm kind of surprised they didn't go for like a U-turn or something, but works out. We are going to bring out our Ting Lu. They did freeze dry my Ho-Oh, which is a weird option here. Okay. Brave Bird going to come out into the Miraidon, and yeah, just picks up the knockout, so I win the Terrain War already. All right. I don't have to worry about huge Dazzling Gleams or anything either. That's a really nice adjustment here. Okay, perfect. I will gladly take that. I will gladly take that. And now, what, Incineroar coming back in? Oh, it's Wellspring Ogerpon, it looks like. Yeah, Wellspring Ogerpon. So I would like to retreat for sure. Amoonguss is always safe, although Freeze Dry is something. I'm going to go for Protect with my Ting Lu, and I'm just going to go out into Amoonguss, I think. The only issue is that the Wellspring Ogerpon has set up like Sword Stance. If it has Sword Stance, I'm actually very, very concerned. I will... At least I don't have to worry about Terra, but the thing is, Terra on Ogerpon would actually help me because then it just puts it weak to Grassy Glide. But yeah, we're going to go on to Amoonguss, which should be super safe here, and just protect the Ting Lu. Because Ting Lu still has value because they can Ruination and beat the Incineroar in the end game. And if they Hydro Pump, nice. But also like the fact that Freeze Dry is weakened is the important one for me. Went for Ivy Cudgel, they target the Ting Lu. Nice, nice. Or do I want to sack Ting Lu? I could use Ting Lu to sack and get a free switch to Rillaboom the following turn, which is not a bad option. I don't think it's a bad option. I kind of like the idea of that. I feel like this should be... You should be fearful of me potentially switching Rillaboom for one of the slots and go for... a Spore into Iron Bundle, so I kind of want to go for a Pollen Puff into the Ogerpon. They are going to follow me. Yeah, they were fearful of that play. I think I live a freeze dry with Ting Lu, so I can go for a Ruination plus freeze dry into Ogerpon. That means the direction is really weak. Nice. Okay, so I did get that read right. I am able to get big Ruination off into Pollen Puff. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, that's really good damage into the Ogerpon. I'm going to never risk the Ting Lu. Should I Pollen Puff the Wellspring Ogerpon, or should I just Pollen Puff the... I'm trying to lock them down so I can win the game with Ho-Oh. Just don't know if I want to save Ting Lu or not. I don't think I ever risk Ting Lu here or Rillaboom. I feel like Ting Lu is probably the one I would want to let go of. I'm going to go for Ruination into the Iron Bundle, and I think I'm going to go for a Pollen Puff. Yeah, I'm going to go for Pollen Puff into the Ogerpon. They're going to go for Follow Me again, so this is perfect. All right, awesome. Okay, I would have Pollen Puffed the Iron Bundle otherwise. They go for Freeze Dry, which A-okay by me. Weaker damage into Amoonguss. I'm able to take the KO out into the Ogerpon. Looking pretty good here. Iron Bundle is still scary though. That's the problem. Iron Bundle is still scary. This can be tricky. I mean, I go Rillaboom, I think, and I click Fake Out into Incineroar, and I click Spore into the Iron Bundle, and then I think I win the game by Wood Hammering the Iron Bundle the following turn. I guess the question is, does Freeze Dry take the KO onto my Rillaboom? I mean, that would be a good question. I don't think it should be Covert Cloak and Incineroar on this team. I feel like I should live one Freeze Dry with Rillaboom. Is that crazy? I don't think I ever need my... I don't think I ever... I'm thinking of, do I Terra here? Because I could Terra to avoid that situation. I guess Fake Out isn't too bad into Incineroar. And just go for a Spore into Iron Bundle. Because I just don't know if you're Freeze Drying the Amoonguss or if you're Freeze Drying the Rillaboom. Because Freeze Dry the Amoonguss helps me against Flare Blitz, but doesn't help me against Freeze Dry. I'm pretty sure both Pokemon lift Freeze Dry, but I'm just going to Fake Out the Incineroar anyway and just Spore here. Because if I get a Spore, I would hammer the following turn. If they Protect, that actually wins me the game too, I think. Because Incineroar is prevented from getting... Oh, yeah, no, this is fine. Yeah. Because I Spore into the Iron Bundle. Actually, no, this could still get awkward. It depends on if they get Double Protect. If they get a Double Protect, which is their win con here, because I always would hammer the Iron Bundle because it picks up the knock and I Rage Powder to avoid the Hydro Pump. The thing is, if they get a Double Protect, they can Flare Blitz, and then it gets very tricky. And I mean very, very tricky. Because then it's a call the following turn. So let's see if they go for the win con and get it. Nice. They did not go for the Double Protect. I should guarantee the win here then. Because as long as they KO Iron Bundle, Ho beats the Incineroar. Yep. A Hydro Pump going to come out into the Amoonguss. But a Wood Hammer going to fall up into Iron Bundle. And now they shouldn't be able to beat Ho. Oh, wait. It's Focus Sash. That does change the game quite significantly. Okay. How many times the grassy terrain are left? Was this the last one? Oh, I'm gonna have to check. No, wait, no, I have a guaranteed win con. Never mind, I still have a guaranteed win con. Because the Iron Bundle doesn't have booster speed. Because it's Focus Sash. Yeah, my Rillaboom's fast, so I'm fine here. Yeah, I just clicked... Even if this was the last turn of grassy terrain, I was fine. But I had 3 turns of grassy. No, I'm completely fine. I clicked Grassy Glide into the Iron Bundle. I clicked Brave Bird. If this was the last turn, they would protect the Iron Bundle 100% and then lose Grassy Terrain. I would Tailwind in and Grassy Glide. But now, yeah, I have a guaranteed win by just Brave Bird and the Incineroar. Because I reset terrain earlier. I was completely okay in this situation. I mean, Incineroar, you guys could have one crazy move, but I don't know what you could have here that changes the game. Brayber gonna come out into the Incineroar, should do like 50%. Yep. Beautiful damage. Knockoff, sure. Actually did do a lot of damage, but the second one wouldn't do nearly as much. I think I recover actually, and yeah, I just recover. And Grassy Glide. Because if they get a triple protect and the Brayber was a roll into Incineroar, like if I got the highest roll and I get the lowest roll and then the Brayber recoil plus a crit knockoff KOs me, I'd be super mad. I'd rather just recover because it guarantees to win. Because I don't think crit knockoff would knock out Rillaboom. If they don't protect, that's fine. And then I Grassy Glide Tailwind the following turn because they can't knock out both Pokemon with Incineroar. So yeah, they're not even going to go for the double protect, so I do guarantee the win here. Alright. Iron Bundle surprisingly very annoying and difficult to actually get rid of, but the power of this constant ability of Ting Lu, like I brought 4 Ice Wings against Iron Bundle, but I was still technically able to handle, I think, because of the fact that I was able to get some pretty decent damage across the board. Into Game Rid of Miraidon was huge because no speed booster was really nice to not have. Also just being able to get the calls around the Wellspring Ogerpon, which was huge. I just Woodhammer? I should just Woodhammer, right? Yeah, Woodhammer does more. And Brave Bird. Whew, okay. Good job, Ho and Ting Lu. Good job. Showcasing how bulky it can be, especially Miraidon's picking up. I love the Ting Lu Rillaboom. And Double Grass actually just being really good. You just got to worry about those ice types, man. Because the sea does have a bunch of ice type weaknesses. All right, let's go over to games. In game 1, felt it was very doomed when I lost my Ho early turn 1 due to a critical hit, but with some strong calls with my Ting Lu and Urshifu, I was somehow able to squeeze out a win. In game 2, other than the horrible miscalculation with the Rillaboom's Grassy Glide being able to knock out the Calyx Ice Rider, which it did not, I was able to position well in Trick Room to stall it out and weaken my opponent to clean up once it was over. In game 3, other than bringing 4 Ice Weeks into Iron Bundle, the combination of Ting Lu and Double Grass was really hard for my opponent to capitalize on Miraidon, and by getting some calls right, I was able to preserve my Pokemon while knocking out the Miraidon and Wellspring Ogerpon to find a 100% win con in the endgame. I think Ho is really strong in this format. I would probably have liked an Incineroar because Intimidate I think pairs really well with Ho's weaker physical defense as well as Parting Shot, and just again multiple ways to pivot I think would have been really nice. But overall, like, Ting Lu was pretty impressive. I was actually surprised. Like the Rocky Helmet said, I wasn't too sure about it, but it just helps out against like physical attacks that you could just switch into because Ting Lu has a really high physical defense as well. Also Ruin of course pairs well with the Ho. Just a really strong overall. The double grass types, the double regenerator, just a fun team to try out. If you would like to use it, the rental code is on the screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time this video comes out, but you can check out the details of the team and the creator down below in the description, and of course subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.